call this regular meeting of the Wetzel County Schools to order. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Mrs. Nice, followed by moments of meditation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Okay, we'll start with the fun stuff, with our recognitions. First is to recognize our nationally recognized Project Lead the Way Gateway educator, Allison Toman-Zwick.
All right, Mrs. Zwick is one of 8 in the nation. This is for you. Congratulations. We did the Project Lead the Way pilot, and Allison jumped on board right away with that, and from what I understand, you love it.
I do, very much so.
It's all STEM, hands-on, and right now, what are you working on?
I expanded from design and modeling last year to add medical detectives to my classroom, and we are in the process of dissecting sheep brains, being able to identify the different parts of the brain.
Yeah, right? So, but she gives her heart and soul, and she loves it, and we love that our kids have this opportunity, so thank you so much.
I want to add that having taught with Mrs. Zwick, I expected no less. She has been fabulous at everything she's done.
Thank you.
Okay, our next thing are the state champion teams for Magnolia FFA students.
Okay, these national teams compete in Indianapolis in 2025. The conduct of chapter meeting was bronze. Those team members included Jacob Norton, Brooklyn Kennedy, Ari Varner, Victoria Strickland, Alyssa Hubbs, Olivia Homan, Olivia Magruder. All right, congratulations to the conduct of chapter meetings bronze team. The meet evaluation team plays silver, and they all play silver individually. So Elizabeth Johnson, Caden Whiteman, Gavin Wade, Damian Lancaster. So this is our meet evaluation team silver medal. Our 2025 state winning teams will compete at the 2026 National Convention. Thank you guys. All right, now I need meets evaluation 2025 West Virginia State FFA champions first place. Jacob Norton, Victoria Strickland, Laura Lee Morgan, Sophie, oh, there she is. Sophia Alexander. All right, so that was our meets evaluation 2025 West Virginia State FFA champions. Thank you. All right, now we have Nursery and Landscape 2025 West Virginia State FFA champions first place, Josie Nice.
Want to stand up there for?
Olivia Homan. Congratulations, Dave Hall. Kiara Dowler. Harley Weicker. And that was our nursery landscape 2025 West Virginia State FFA champions, first place. Now we have our forestry 2025 West Virginia State champs, first place, Joey Beto, Caden Whiteman, Kyler Fortney, I know I saw Kyler. Congratulations. And Logan Morris. Congratulations. And that's our forestry 2025 West Virginia State FFA champions. We have two of their teachers here. We have Miss Curtis and we have Mr. Ash. Thank you for all you do. You filled our entire boardroom today with the champions. So it's so wonderful. It really is.
And what a professional looking, well-respectful group.
Yes.
Impressive.
Yes, we really appreciate all your hard work. Thank you guys.
If you wish to leave and don't want to stay for the whole meeting, you are welcome to go. Okay, so we'll move on to superintendent's information.
All right, we're going to start out with Senate Bill 199, which we have gotten, we've done some really hard work on this. You have a copy of the Senate bill, a recap of it in your packet, as well as, did you put the bill in this? As well as?
199, yeah.
Okay, so you have a recap of that. Mr. McPherson is working side by side on this as well, so I'm going to go ahead and let you give us a little bit of a rundown on what we've been doing. Mrs. Hogan was unable to be here this evening.
Yeah, we've been working, it's kind of been a two-sided thing, and we got everybody together, honestly, for the first time late Friday afternoon to really talk through what it may look like. And I think we have a good solid plan at this point as to location, what we need to do to staff it properly for, because we're looking at a situation here, we call it all ed, but we also want it to be a situation where some of our elementary students they go through the process and we help them to be better students so that they don't end up back in all ed. We want them to, with some rehabilitative to that as well. It's not just, the punishment is sometimes just being removed from the classroom. It's not the actual process itself. At that point, we want the kids to have a chance to learn how to behave better and still get the education that they're supposed to get.
So this is our alternative program for grades K through 5. So these are our little people. And because of Senate Bill 199, we had to come up with a plan for what to do if we have some behaviors in the classroom that need a little extra attention. So like Mr. McPherson was saying, we don't want this to be, taking them out of the classroom is a punishment. So when we're in the alternative room for the little people, we want to make sure they're getting all the services that they need, whether it's speech or behavior modification or their core curriculum, whatever they need, you want to tailor that curriculum for them because they've been removed from the classroom for a reason. And so we want to make sure we can get them back to the classroom once we get them kind of situated where they are. We do see a lot of behaviors with the little ones right now. So this will be located at New Martinsville School. And Mr. McPherson was saying we've met with our team on Friday and we really brainstormed and came up with what this is going to look like with all of our principals at New Martinsville School. I know there's been some talk about why are we putting it at a school. These are just little people.
They're not, convicted adult felons. They just need our assistance a little bit more than they are normally getting, or maybe than they can handle at the time. Having them out of school will offer those services, whether it's therapy, speech, behavior, in a much more quick fashion.
And it's not abnormal to house it at a school. There's several close by counties here that have their alternative education programs housed at a school.
We've taken into consideration, though, the location of the classroom, the outside access. We will have them on a modified schedule. We have talked extensively on what it's gonna look like as far as teachers in that classroom, because it's alt ed, but it sometimes involves special ed as well, and you can't do a dual role, so we had to take a look at that. There is a bathroom in that room, so Jamie might not know this yet, but we're gonna work with him on that. We've talked everything from what the room will look like, not making sure there's not too much in the room, because some of our little ones have disruptive behaviors, where they kind of destroy things. So making sure that it's completely laid out, as far as a student teacher desk or individual stations, a calm down station. So this will truly be a room, a space just for little people to get them reacclimated back in. Let's see, what else did we can tell you? They will have their lunch and breakfast delivered to them.
Where will they eat their lunch and breakfast? In that room?
In that room.
Yes.
And is this for the whole county?
Yes.
So the children from the other 3 schools will be bused there?
So so when we look at central locations, there's, no matter what attendance area you were in, a bus comes from your attendance area to the tech center, and then we'll work on a shuttle from the tech center to New Martinsville School, and then one back from New Martinsville School to the tech center at the end of the day. And that helps us out for the most part with scheduling with teachers as well, to make sure they have planning and lunch and all the things that they're required to have.
And what's the average classroom size right now, counting all 4 elementary schools? What's the average number of students that would be in all ed?
I would say probably 4 to 6.
Yeah, and we also have to be careful not to, so special education has different ratios allowed depending on the students being serviced, so we have to, it's a moving target we have to watch as far as how many adults are in the room.
But we're not looking at like 30 kids in there.
That would be impossible, that wouldn't solve anything, correct?
And
These
there's
are-
1 staff member for 6?
Looks like there's gonna be at least 2 in order to meet special ed requirements.
And does the number, if the number increases, do we have to increase the staff size?
We would put an 8 in there. We're not going to go over 8. That is our goal.
Right, and that would require the perfect mix of students. I mean, we could be at 4 or 5 depending on the needs of special education students in the room.
Right now, we're doing virtual with a young person, and we do have one student in person, and I know that we've got a couple out there that we're looking at. So it's not a huge number by any means, and getting somebody in an alternative placement like that would have to be the last resort, that, this is what they need. They can't function in the regular classroom. The other children in that classroom aren't getting what they need because there's not enough adults to, work on those behaviors or what they need.
And we've taken a good look and have some very good examples of intake processes and exit processes. I was especially interested in some of the exit processes, especially for elementary kids, that included, a slow reintroduction or, a refresher on what it's gonna be like when you go back, so that, again, we don't want it to be a revolving door. We want students to come in and to get what they need and come out in a better situation than they came in.
So we'll have a teacher and a teacher's aide, or 2 teachers in that classroom?
It has to be 2 teachers for special education
Okay.
to provide
What about-
services.
What about on the bus, when they're transporting like from short line area, will it be a bus driver and an aide?
We are working on getting aides on buses. But that would be our goal, especially going forward.
And sometimes the situation, it depends on the student. We do have some situations where if a student's required to have an aide with them, we would have to make those accommodations.
But,
Because we currently have alternative education students riding the bus now.
Right.
but
This
if we
is
have
a
a
new
behavior
thing.
problem, shouldn't an aide be on that bus now?
Well, and it will depend on the severity and if they need one, but I mean, absolutely, if we have to have one, we're going to figure it out, right?
Right.
Where are the elementary kids in, all ed now?
They're out at the center.
Yeah, that's not going
That's not
great.
good.
They're out at the tech
We're
center?
transitioning our one little guy that's there now back. He's going like a little bit to New Martinsville and then he comes back to the center. So we're trying to transition him out, but we've got older students and younger students, and that is really temporary. We have been trying to kind of muddle through this. Actually not muddle, we've just been really brainstorming and making sure we are not forgetting anything that we need.
When will that room become available to use?
So we've worked with New Martinsville School on the answer to when some of the moves could happen, so that we don't want to, I mean, we know we need to get it done, but we also
Right.
know that we want to make it as least inconvenient as possible for those folks.
Okay.
So we've given the folks at New Martinsville School a little leeway over, we've given them a couple options when we might want to move things that works best for the teacher involved.
So you said it's going to have its own separate restroom in there?
It's already there.
It's already there?
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons this room worked out.
Mhm.
And it does have, it's at the end of a hallway, and it does have outside door access as well, outside world access.
Our neighboring counties, are they doing similar?
Some don't have anything yet, and there was at least, Matt or Mr. Barkus? Three that have it already, and I know at least Ohio County has theirs housed in a building, a school building.
I mean, three in a school, 3 counties in a
Oh,
school.
okay.
Is there some requirement for counties to have this by when?
So, I mean, the bill itself has been in effect, but
Yeah,
sometimes.
Probably
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
July?
So there's a whole ton of counties that,
They're
That are
trying
probably
to-
not ready
Working
to
through
go
this,
yet.
right?
In
A lot of
the
people
same
working
shape we
through
are.
this, yes.
Yes,
more or less.
trying to figure this out to make sure we're following all the things we have to follow in that Senate bill and taking care of our kids.
Right.
I like that it's to help the kids and not a punishment.
We've been looking
Because
at
those
different,
young ones, they really,
right. Well, they need to see the social worker, they need to see their therapist, they need to see the PCBA, they need to have math. There's gonna be a lot that they need to have in small chunks, and, when we put our little guys, or one little guy out at the center, his schedule was very chunked, like, he was 20 minutes doing this, 20 minutes doing this, so they do require a different form of schedule, but it's gonna be based child by child what they need. Because remember, these are, again, little people.
And how are you gonna measure if it's successful, and what's your backup plan? If this just doesn't work out and it's disruptive or something goes wrong, what's your backup plan?
So, and Mr. Barkus can jump in if I'm wrong, but it's perfectly legal to have all education virtually at home if we get in a situation where it's that bad. I don't think anybody wants to see that be where we are, but at the same time, the students in alternative education who are making progress deserve the chance to make progress as well.
But if you send them home and have a home confinement or whatever, will you be measuring that throughout the week, month?
There'll be services that will be, they'll still get services, they might look a little bit differently. But like, we have regular school and we have alt ed, we're not really equipped to have more than that. We will provide everything we can if they're in the building in alt ed. If they have to go home, they'll be
And
virtual.
it's not like we've not already done
Right.
that kind of alternative education virtually. It's happened before. It's not, it may sound new to us because we're talking about it, but it's not something that's new.
Yeah, we currently have one student doing it.
The virtual option is an option given to us by the State Department of Education, and it's already in our county policy for a few years now. What's different this year, historically all that has been for middle school and high school age children. And this bill is now causing all the counties to work through this process to try and figure out how to make this for elementary age students as well. And we know that we need to get those separated out from the older children.
I guess I had one other one. If they're at home, what about breakfast and dinner? Are we providing that, or what are we
Actually,
doing with
Deanna
that?
has worked through that.
That is something that child nutrition cannot provide, but we will work with our backpack, CSI, or, yeah,
CIS.
CIS. We will work to make sure they are getting
They're
something.
keeping track of that as well.
Yeah, we're trying. Yeah, we're trying to make sure there's other sources for them.
And have we hired an alt ed teacher? Or did
We have not.
Okay.
You may have noticed there wasn't one on there yet.
Okay.
So we're
So
gonna work.
it's all
through-
dependent
We
on
we
that.
did a little. We may have put the cart before the horse a little bit, and then we backed up and realized that we needed to post a little differently to get what we really need for our kids. So.
We thought we could do a teacher and an aide to start, but you can't do alt ed. You can't be the alt ed teacher and the special ed teacher, and unfortunately, a lot of our students that end up in alt ed do have some special needs. So that would require 2 separate people. So then we talked through that
Right.
about, well, we're gonna have to try to get 2 teachers then to cover that. And then if we had more students that we couldn't, we needed to hire an aide, we would.
And that
So what
also
if we
gives
don't get-
December, that also gives me a chance to find some December graduates if we move some folks around.
Okay.
New Martinsville has been very good about even looking. I know Ship came up with a name at the craft fair last weekend.
Okay.
She asked everyone, so, I mean, that is something we have to work through as well. But we have to come up with something, so, and I know that people have said that we are not talking about this a lot, but it's taken us some time and brainstorming, kind of question and answer, problem solving, to get to a point where we found we wanted to be successful. The administration in Martinsville has been wonderful because they also want to be successful, so they've had some ideas, different ideas that we've kind of thrown around to make sure that we can make this happen.
It's kind of that the administration of New Martinsville School, it's their responsibility to talk to their staff members and everything,
And they probably weren't in a situation to provide any information about that until
But-
late in the day on Friday, to be honest with
and,
you.
yeah, but now,
Right, now they're, yeah,
going forward, it's,
Yeah. correct.
okay.
Okay, any other
Yeah.
questions? They're good questions.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got one, because the concerns that we are hearing are violence, fear for the students in that school. So what measures will be in place other than the seclusion, so to speak?
So I wish Mrs. Hogan was here because she could speak better about this, but there are things like, it's called safety care to deal with that. And then we did, when we spoke with New Martinsville School, it sounds like one administrator from there will be the lead, but also it's housed in New Martinsville School, but it's a county level program. So if there's ever an issue, we've committed here that somebody from here will go up immediately to help out with that as well, because it's not, it happens to live at their school, it's not completely their projects. We feel like we should be all in on that, and that's not abnormal. We do that at the
We
center
do that
sometimes
already.
too. Yeah,
And there's
whoever
no
gets the
other-
phone call goes out if something's
But for the
going on.
most part, they're in their own area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's no classroom across from
No.
them.
Remember, they
or
weren't
anything.
in the classroom,
right,
so now we're trying to get them,
It's in an isolated part of the building.
okay.
It's inside the school, but it's in an isolated part of the building. There's a separate entrance and exit right there.
Just-
Lunches will be in the room, that sort of thing.
There's an
Okay.
assistant principal right across the hall.
Mhm.
Recess would not be with the other students.
Thank you.
Appreciate the good questions.
all right, American Education Week is next week, and I have a proclamation. So, first of all, American Education Week was first celebrated in 1921 to address concerns about literacy, and is co-sponsored by organizations like the National Education Association and the American Legion. So from 2025, they will take place next week, and so our schools will be doing lots of different things for American Education Week. I have Mr. Snyder working on getting you a packet of all the events kind of compiled into one thing. But I do have a proclamation, and I'd like to read that proclamation, and then I would like for all of you to sign it, if you agree with the proclamation. All right, American Education Week proclamation is November 17th through the 21st, 2025. Whereas public schools are the backbone of our democracy, providing young people with the tools they need to maintain our nation's precious values of freedom, civility, and equality. And whereas by equipping young Americans with both practical skills and broader intellectual abilities, schools give them hope for and access to a productive future. And whereas education employees be the substitute educators, cooks, custodians, teachers, bus operators, secretaries, maintenance, mechanics, aides, or librarians work tirelessly to serve our children and communities with care and professionalism. And whereas schools are community linchpins bringing together adults and children, educators and volunteers, business leaders and elected officials in a common enterprise. Now therefore, we, the Wetzel County Board of Education, serving Wetzel County schools, do hereby proclaim November 17th through the 21st, 2025 as the 104th annual observation of American Education Week. As an expression of gratitude, we will dismiss schools at 12:15 p.m. on Monday, December 22nd, so that the holiday break can begin early. Best wishes for an enjoyable and rewarding school year. The 22nd is a PL day, and historically we give our faculty a half a day off in observance of this.
You said December, did you mean November?
No, December 22nd.
Also, when you come back.
It's, we give them
So
that,
you
half a
give them the
day
last
that
one to
day,
sign.
right before the Christmas
it.
break.
What are we doing?
We all have to sign it. It's our annual proclamation.
Do you need pen, Christine?
There's one, or something. Okay, that's all I have for that part.
You should black me. Yeah.
Sorry.
Who wants to use the black pen?
So this goes out, those go out to the school, and the school puts them in the teacher's mail on it, right?
Thank you.
Okay. So, you're done with the superintendent's information, that's all? Mrs. Reader?
Yes.
Okay, then we're down to number 4, superintendent's recommendation, approval of minutes of the regular meeting, October 28th, 2025. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
It's been moved by Mr. Castelo. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Glasscock. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay. On the next part, on personnel matters, I need to make a addition or a change. If you look under professional personnel, the line is there, but there's not a name on it. The name to be put on it is Lacey Jones. Lacey Jones. And the effective date will not be November 12th, it will be December 1st, 2025. All right, so, under personnel matters, we have resignations, professional personnel, service personnel, extracurricular, a lot of extracurricular, leaves of absences. That should be all. Do I have a motion for approval of the superintendent's recommendations as outlined under personnel matters?
Moved.
It's been moved by Mrs. Mitchell. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Mrs. Nice. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Under routine matters, A, request to attend Wetzel County Schools. We have 2 students from another county coming into Wetzel County Schools. And B, approval for request from the school principal for the following chaperones and volunteers for the remainder of the 2025-26 year for Payton City Elementary and New Martinsville School. Okay, motion for approval of superintendent's recommendations is outlined under routine matters. Is there a motion?
So moved.
It's been moved by Mr. Castelo. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mrs. Nice. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Treasurer's report. Approved. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's all right, no worries. I have for you this evening, item A, requesting approval for the payment of bills for the month of October 2025. And also item B, I do not have any transfers or increases in the budget this evening.
Okay,
So just,
all right. Then we have, do I have a motion for approval for the payment of bills for the month of October 2025? Those were in our folders. And they're also always for on review and up in the financial office. Do I have a motion to approve the payment of the bills for the month of October 2025?
So moved.
It's moved by Mrs. Nice. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Mrs. Mitchell. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right. First and second reading of revised and Wetzel County policies. Okay, so we already went on 3 of them for second, so we just need to look at the first reading, which is the assessment reporting system policy that Mr. Houston was the originator for. Is anybody going to speak to that, or? No?
I can speak to, Mr. Houston's not able to be here today, so he asked me to review this for him. This is something that he had discussed with the high school principals this past summer and approved for this to have begun, and it was an oversight, he just forgot to update the policy.
Okay. As I looked through it, there's not much that changed.
No.
I mean, we added the word honors on it. I have one question, maybe this is just being picky. On page 3 of 3, the teacher has the responsibility to keep records and samples of student work to justify the assessment for each student. If you're a high school teacher and you have 100 kids a day, you have to keep student work to be able to verify that? Should that not be, I just thought it would be better to say to keep records and or samples instead of, because the way it says now, they have to keep the student work.
You might be able to digitize that. I mean, I don't know what they're doing, but
I'm
keep a portfolio for the kids.
For
each student.
Yeah.
I just think that's, just as the teacher aspect of it, that seems,
That's actually been in the policy.
Yeah, that's not new.
I know.
I'm just thinking back to,
Yeah.
I mean, when I was teaching high school, that wasn't unusual. I had that for the students. I mean, that's been the policy for several years. I'm reading the paragraph here, the whole thing, to try and see if there's something I'm not thinking about, but that hasn't changed in many, many years.
just because it hasn't changed, we could have just gone over it though. I just think that's very cumbersome to teach. Like you said, digital might make it easier.
They might already do that, I don't
Yeah.
know, Paul would probably have a better idea.
I'm okay to let it go with that now, but I think it is something for the principals to maybe talk with their teachers about what the best way to do that would be. If it didn't say and, if it said and or, then I'd understand it, but that's making it sound like you have to keep all the assessments for all the kids.
Well, if you've got a lot of kids, you can.
That's what I said, high school, that's a lot. So, but I'm, like I said, I'm fine with it. We've been using it like this for years, but I think it's something that we might wanna talk to the teachers.
I'll make a note to
teaching.
discuss with Mr. Houston when he comes back.
Okay. So, and this is just on first reading, so if he wants to change that, we could. Okay, so I move that we approve IKA on first reading and GCHA, GCB, and KG on second reading.
I have one quick comment on IKA. This is the policy that some folks were wondering why we recognize people who have never received a B or something. That's nowhere in this policy, so was that only a practice at Magnolia?
I'm not completely sure on that, but I did discuss that with Mr. Houston, and he was going to discuss that with the two high school principals.
Okay.
We would like for them to follow policy.
Yeah,
It's
but-
not in here, so they shouldn't be doing it, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
What were you asking again? I missed that.
They recognize students who have never received less than an A or never received a B or something like that.
I think it may be, and I'm guessing here, but I'm guessing that it's an old practice that perhaps Magnolia was utilizing at class day, where they were recognizing students who had never received a B, and that doesn't follow the policy. So that was brought to our attention last week, and I discussed that with Mr. Houston. Like I said, he was gonna follow up with Mrs. Shepherd and Mrs. Miller both and make sure they understood that's not in the policy.
It does say though, with students 4.0 with
Correct,
honors, but
correct.
not what she's saying.
Correct, and that's what he's gonna discuss with them. You know, it's laid out in policy what is recognized, so to make sure that we are following that at class day.
And we're close to that, aren't we, with, when we do the spring honors banquet type
It's like
thing?
top 15%.
Yeah, and if they've been doing it all those different years, they get on that.
That's like
plaque.
that's like top of the class for
Yeah.
that semester that we, or I would say.
If they make that,
recognized.
yeah, that banquet each year.
But if they
I
make
think
it
it
every
was
year,
just-
you get on it, it's a special
I
plaque.
think it's called the Academic Hall of Fame, if I remember
That's
correctly.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, you would know.
Yeah.
Amy Grant's what it's called. So they are there, they would be.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Question. Okay. Okay, so I made the motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
So moved by Mrs. Bonner, seconded by Mrs. Mitchell. Any further conversation or discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Number 7, we're going to not do tonight.
Okay. Okay. Number 8. Board consideration and action to authorize the superintendent to negotiate the terms and enter into on behalf of the board a contract with Williams Ohio Valley Midstream LLC regarding the relocation of a pipeline pertaining to a tract of land identified as tax map and parcel number 51211 in Wetzel County, West Virginia, and adjoining property, subject to final approval and/or ratification of the contract by the board. I move to approve that.
All we're doing is negotiating, right?
She's negotiating.
Yes, but
She's
I'm
working it
not-
out. No, we're not, yeah. Okay, so it's been moved by Mrs. Spawner. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Mrs. Nice. Any further discussion?
Is that parcel number part of the parcel number that we're finalizing? Or is that,
Yes, I mean, the pipeline is on the property.
okay.
Yep.
I'm still kind of concerned about the pressure of it. in the pipeline.
Yeah, so when we went through this last version, actually that's, I mean, it's right under the road. People drive on it every single day. So they're going to put a thicker walled unit in. The person that maintains that will be trained at a higher level. But if you,
It's gonna be deeper also,
it's
correct?
going to be deeper, right, so they're taking all the necessary precautions that they would take with a school or a church or a community.
But when I've seen it blow out of the ground on 3 different occasions that I know of, and personally involved in 2 of those, I'm very concerned about that. 1,000 pound-feet SI. That's an accident waiting to happen. And hope it never happens, because if it does, they ain't a kid in that school will ever have a eardrum. And then if you've never experienced 1,000 pound pressure coming out of a line, you can't stand it.
This is not a final step. This is just to see what they've got in mind about cost and everything. Is that correct?
Right, so, we do have a pipeline agreement that's in the works, and our attorneys have, worked on that as well and sent back stuff, and we've also worked with all the engineers at Thrasher. So, in order for us to build the school, the pipeline needs relocated. It can be relocated, there will be a cost to that. I mean, from everything, and Mrs. Mitchell works in the industry, maybe you can help me out, but the pipeline will go around, so the school will be 100 feet in the air, higher than where the pipeline is, actually more, because the pipeline will be sunk. And then there is a gradient of property, so the pipeline is not, it is, in some respects, it will be close to our school, but it's not close to our school.
Like elevation wise, school's up here and it's ground.
Right, it's all,
down
it's
here.
down below,
And it's away from it, it's not under it.
right. We can't build on top of it, so it has to be relocated.
But if it blows up, it won't be 100 feet, it'll be 1,000 feet in the air.
So I kind of look at it like this, yes, we would never want that to happen. We also would never want to be in a car accident, we would never want an airplane to go down. We are taking all the precautions that we can possibly take with working with Williams and Thrasher and their environmental team.
There's high pressure pipelines everywhere.
Well, I was gonna ask, are there any located to our, like, other locations here and like in comparison to that? But I think that was something, a conversation that was gonna be had at eventually with them, just to give us some examples.
Yeah, I mean, we've got, right behind 100 Heritage School, we've got a, what is it, a pad going in back there? High pressure station. I mean, it's part of our daily life, fortunately or unfortunately. It is bringing in resources to the community, but it's part of how we live as West Virginians now.
And they did discuss that last meeting. Was that one that you missed, the last one? Yeah. Okay, yeah, so she did have that, like, they had little dots to show where they're all located. I mean, they're everywhere.
Have any of you ever seen a pipeline come out of the ground? 1,000 pound pressure coming out of the ground? I have. It's not a very good.
Okay, so it's been moved to give the action to authorize the superintendent to negotiate the terms and enter on with the midstream. So the motion is that,
All we're doing is negotiating and getting a document, and then it has to be finally approved, right?
Because it's monetary, there'll be money that is above what I'm allowed to spend without your permission. Yeah. So as soon as I get those final papers, and they're working on it as we speak, so I will bring that to you.
So yes, 2 minutes.
Okay.
So I moved it, Mrs. Nice seconded it. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
Okay, it's, motion carries 4-1 with Mr. Glasscock voting no. Okay, number 9, board member committee reports. Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay. There are no delegations. Other items? Discussion of policy 2322, West Virginia Sport and Accountability, school performance, student outcomes, academics, and student achievement. You said Mrs. Hogan couldn't be here.
She's on here, but you have a flyer or a handout, West Virginia House Bill 2499. You have not been trained on this, and this new House Bill does mandate that we are trained on it. Mrs. Hogan did train on the administration last Wednesday, Thursday, last Wednesday and Thursday. And we will be training you. Most likely will be a work session at some point if you're all 5 going to be in attendance at the same time. So Mrs. Hogan is our train the trainer. She's trained the administration. We're going back to train their people at their buildings, but we need to have you trained by December 31st, and we will work out the details of that. This is about making sure you understand IDEA and special ed and kind of what we have to go through when we're working with our students with special needs. It includes teacher rights, IEP meeting requirements, new hire training. They will have to be trained as new hires. There will also be a refresher training every 2 years. And it is federal law compliance. So House Bill 2499 must not conflict with federal laws, but we will be trained in it.
And I also contacted Mrs. Shirley Davidson and Mr. Howard O'Cull to say, has this been covered already with us in trainings, or is it going to be on this upcoming training we have on the 15th? And the answer was no, that we have not had this training. And so I sent and said, can we have our special ed person do it, so that we could do it that way.
And the answer was yes, right?
The answer was probably.
The wording of this bill is, it's very odd, so that, I think the whole state has been kind of working on how this is gonna roll out. Normally, we wouldn't train you on this, but actually the bill says that you're going to train us on this.
Yes.
So we're navigating around that.
Yeah, Mr. O'Cull did get back to me, and Mrs. Davidson got back to me, let me know that we haven't had this. And he thought it would be fine for us to do it this way, but he would get back to me and verify.
Okay.
So that's where we are. Okay? And Mrs. Ammons, update on the meal access program.
We started at the end of October at 100 Heritage School. We started the after-school supper program. So last week was our first full week of offering it. It's going very well. But also remember that if it's an early dismissal or something like that, we do not do it. So it's only when there's a full day of school. So it's going very well. And today was our first day at Valley, and so we will continue. I talked to Ms. Shepherd. She said it went well. We didn't have a lot of students, maybe about 10, but of course it's something I think that will grow as we continue to go through this. We're going to continue to work to add other schools and looking at their scheduling to see what we can do. I do know, I've been talking to some of my cooks, the numbers are starting to go up a little bit. They are seeing increase for breakfast and lunch, so students are taking advantage of those meals also. So we are starting to see an increase of participation in those areas also. So we will just continue to work and provide for our students.
That's when you said with 10, but that's 10 students.
It's
that may
10
not have
students,
had a
that's
meal.
right, that's, yeah. And it was the first day, and that, as anything that's new, it takes a little bit of time for kids to start taking advantage of things sometimes. So we will just continue to make sure they're aware of it. And I know the community is continuing to add things. For example, I know out of, I can't think of the name of the place. No, out in Valley area, out of Pine Grove, they are actually offering meals from 11 to 2 daily at the Bird Center, yes. So that was something new that was starting this week, so for people in the community. So things are starting, there's lots of support and lots of things being offered to students. And we're continuing to offer backpack programming, the school pantries and so forth also to our students.
And I think the West Virginia WVU Extension Service, they've done a really, really good job.
Yes, they've been great to work with, and there's that calendar, there's something almost every, Monday through Friday, everywhere, somewhere to get something to, whether it's a meal or food to take home in this county. So says a lot about the community.
And our CIS at each school
Yes.
is really,
So that was at 100 Heritage and Valley.
Yes.
Are you going to move it to Short Line?
We're
and
going to
Kansas City?
continue to add as we, it's a little bit of logistics, making sure we have enough items and stuff, and also working within their schedule. It's supposed to be it has to be after hours, so we got a little bit of logistics to work out, so, yeah.
One last thing before we finish, I could have done this under things. You should be receiving, I got mine today, this packet in the mail. Read it, it's from Mr. O'Connell. It's a difficult read, but it does give some useful information. Yeah, it's lawyerese. So, okay, date and time for the next meetings. So on November 13th, there's a special meeting, hearings here at the county office. New Martinsville Schools is at 1, 100 Heritage is at 4, Short Line School is at 7. Then on November 17th is a special meeting hearing for Magnolia at Magnolia High School at 6 p.m. And on November 19th, a special meeting hearing for Valley at Valley High School at 6 p.m. November 21st, a special meeting at the county office at 9 a.m.
so I need to add to this list, our December meeting, which was originally December 8th,
9th, and now
Ninth?
it's the 16th, I think.
can we change that to the 16th? The 9th is the day before the state board meeting, which we will be traveling to. Actually, I won't even be here on the 9th, I'll be at a different training, so we'd like to move it to the 16th. We only have one in December, so that's just moving it 1 week later.
I'm fine with that, I don't know about anybody else.
Hold on.
That would just be a regular meeting.
I'm good with it. So December 16th at 5:30?
Yes.
Before we adjourn, can we ask questions and talk about the pipeline and the land, or is that going off agenda?
We just talked about that.
I know, but I have more questions. Can we talk about the timeline on getting the pipeline moved? Is that the first thing that has to be done?
It'll take them 45 days, can I talk about it, I guess, is it okay? So they'll take 45 days, they know what our timeline is, we have to cut trees November through March. So, but they can move their pipeline while we're cutting trees.
Okay.
We won't be able to move dirt until the spring, so in the spring, the large dirt removal will happen, but that pipeline will already be moved.
Thank you.
I think it was okay, because it was on the agenda, so.
Did we get the money from the removal of the trees,
We will,
the timber money?
yes.
Okay.
Lots of excitement, people were asking when,
Yes.
and I didn't know what to
Yes.
say.
No,
so.
no,
That was
yes.
good clarifying. Okay, do I have a motion for adjournment? Moved by Mrs. Nice, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mrs. Mitchell, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?